पहले मुझे प्रियंका
I
साना पड़ेगा और मूड में लाना पड़ेगा, फिर
serious, serious. And I said, now do this. They were they were like, what? मैंने बोला, no, no, I want you to do that. Do that.
Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of the Unfiltered Healing Podcast. I'm Renali, and I'm a life coach. I work at the intersection of logic and inner work, and I help people feel a little more easy and get a little more clarity in their everyday lives. And here we have honest conversations about mental well being, self awareness, and healing without pretending that we have it all figured out. So today's conversation is about Vastu and if Vastu actually can help your mental health and a little bit of life coaching in between. So my question is Vastu just about directions and rules, or is it also something that will help us reflect deeper about how we live, how we feel, how we show up in the world? And to get more details about this, I'm joined by Priyanka, who's an IT professional, and she turned into a beautiful Vastu consultant and a life coach. And she works with wonderful women. And what I want to know about you is that how did you make this change from going from a very logical and technical background? And then now today you are in a completely different world of Vastu and life coaching. So, what pulled you in that direction?
It was not a conscious step, to be honest. It did not begin with that. Let me put it that way. I've been a Vastu believer. I've been a big believer of Indian sciences, ancient, sciences, Vedic sciences, and everything. So astrology, you call it Vastu. I'm a big believer of them. So I've been following that, Googling like, most of us do. But I never thought that I'll be practicing it more professionally. I decided to go do a Vastu alignment for my house. And I realized that it was difficult to find someone who would give you practical advices, the kind of apartments we live in, not breakable. We cannot do, dismantle and rearrange everything. So there was a lot of fear around Vastu, is what I personally felt. This is coming from my own experience. And eventually I found a good, Vastu consultant for my house. I got that done. And it clicked off, and he's my guru now. He has great experience. So I'm coming from that, right? Everything practical. No, no false myths, no fear-based consultation, everything practical. So I got into Vastu. But before that, when I was in IT and I was like, I was trying to figure out why my life is being so monotonous, and I'm, working as if I'm a robot, waking up, going to work, coming back, doing my household chores, and just, going off to sleep. So I decided to take a break because of health issues and many other things. And that's when I realized that I really need to work on myself first. And I was trying to find that peace, that connection with myself, and, that lost touch with the inner joy. And I found coaching. So I took it for myself first, and I thought, oh my God, wow, this is a great way to live it with, right? I did not know that there's whole other way to live your life, to see your life in a different perspective, and to feel so fresh after waking up every day and not thinking about, oh my God, I have to still do that thing. So that's it. Nothing changes, Honestly, I still have my to-do list every morning, but the perspective around that changes. So that's how I got into coaching. And I decided that there are a lot many women like me, like how I used to think, and they should be aware of this. So I thought, why not take this up, and work for a cause, a better purpose in life, rather than doing this. So I got myself trained in Vastu, I got myself trained in coaching, and that's how I reached this point.
Yeah, and it's such a noble profession, I must say. It really gives you a reason to wake up, that you're there, you're helping people. You've gone through all of that, and now you have the right tools in your belt to figure out, okay, with this problem, this works, with this, with that works. And it is so brilliant. And I love that you're marrying these two very different sciences of Vastu, which is a very traditional thing, and life coaching, which is more Western thing. But I think we have it in our in our Indian culture in a slightly different manner. It's just not called life coaching. But that's beautiful. Okay, I want to actually ask you this. For someone like me who is not very familiar with all of these things, what is Vastu actually about? How would you define this?
Vastu, okay, I'll go with definition first, a very simple one. Vastu Shilp Shastra is a science about aligning your spaces, uh, according to nature. Okay. Now, what is Vastu? Vastu is anything where mortals and immortals live. That is what many of the ancient scripts say. Now, mortals is, like us, human beings. Immortals, when we say, don't take it literally, it's like, the universal energies, the energies around us, the Panch Mahabhut, how those impact us, right? So if you're a believer of astrology, you know that, lunar alignment, the alignment of sun and celestial bodies, they have an impact on our life. So does the environment around us has impact on our bodies too. So that is all Vastu is about.
The Panch Mahabhut, these are the five elements you're talking about, right? Water, air,
Yes.
fire, space. Is space one of them?
Yes, it is. So
Mm.
water, air, fire, Agni. Sorry, water, space, fire. Why am I missing that? I don't know.
The five elements,
The
yes.
five elements. Yes, Earth, right? Earth. Yeah,
Earth,
we forgot
okay,
it. Earth, right?
we
The one
forgot
we live.
Mother
I think this is just the performance pressure talking now. Okay, yeah.
Earth. And is this similar to Feng Shui? Do you think are these interconnected or are they fundamentally different?
I would say that Vastu is more work with your directions and orientation of your space. And Feng Shui is work related to the flow of energy inside that space. Okay.
Okay.
So Vastu can be done right from the construction level. When you decide to, oh, I want this plot, I want this site, I want this space. You can start Vastu from there itself. And once you align your space with that, there are hardly any other tunings that you need to do to energize that space. But it would be, if you're a believer of Feng Shui, why not do that? Why not do that fine tuning, have nice symbols, pleasant ones, they get that energy going and, flowing through the space to uplift you now and then. So I think it's good to marry those two.
Fabulous. So is keeping a money plant a part of Feng Shui or Vastu?
I think it's more Feng Shui. I have not come across a Vastu term specifically talking about money plant, to be honest. We
Okay.
do have talks about the sacred trees. Yeah,
Which
but
are what
not.
are these sacred trees?
So, for example, the banyan tree, the peepal tree, the
Ah,
plaksh, audumbar. So
yes.
those are your sacred trees. The five sacred trees, as they call it. But yeah, so we do have mentions of those in the scripts, but I have not heard. I mean, at least in my knowledge, I have not come across money plant. So I think that's a Vastu, Feng Shui term more,
Feng
not a
Shui.
Vastu one.
Very nice, very interesting. I've never heard of these things, so it's very nice to learn about this from you. Okay, have you ever actually walked into a home and then you immediately felt that okay, this person must be exhausted, or angry, or upset, or depressed? Have you had that experience?
Yeah. Of lately, I think I've been a very keen observer. I've been an observer of people all along my life, I think, since I, became more conscious of it. But now that I know these principles and how they work, I can figure that out. So when you walk into that space and you see that, oh, this is the wrong placement, maybe this thing is not working for this owner. And I ask them, oh, do you face this problem? And they say, yes. I said, okay, now I know that it's working. So it sometimes, amazes people like, how do you know? But I'm like, I know. I
Can
know
you
because
can you give us one example so we can check in our space and see if this is happening to us also?
okay. See, if there are too many issues in the family, if there are too many family disputes, relationship issue, right? You being a relationship coach also. check the southeast corner of that house. It's not balanced well, probably. That's a
When you,
small.
sorry, when you say not balanced well, do you mean in terms of what?
So maybe there's a wrong room altogether there. Maybe not the right person sleeping there, not the right person staying there. Maybe it is too cluttered. Easy layman term, right? Yeah.
Okay, we need to Mary Kondo that part of the house for sure then.
Yeah, I think we need to mariconda every part of the house to begin with any changes of Vastu. We should do that.
Yes, that's actually really nice. Very, very interesting. I want to also ask you if houses were people and if they could talk, what would they actually talk or what would they say about their owners?
I think they would say that, you have invested so much in buying your space because, it doesn't come easy. It's so expensive nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Just better pay some more attention and care towards that space, what you have bought with so much care, and look at us and just see how we talk to you.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Yeah, that's actually sweet. It's like spaces and even the land is talking to the Vastu specialists. And it's
It
actually informing you what to do, what it needs.
it is actually so Earth is the principal Vastu. Earth is where all of us dwell. So that is the primary Vastu. And everything that is built on Earth is derived Vastu. I mean, derived places.
Oh, so what about so if it is a piece of land that is separate, it's closer to Earth, so it is easier to analyze. But what about people who live in buildings? How does it change? Because there isn't much, like you mentioned earlier, there isn't much we can actually change in terms of direction, and we cannot just close one of the rooms off or something.
Mhm.
So how is that? How do you bring that earth element balance into people who live in apartments?
So it's not that we are, totally disconnected from Earth, right? The buildings have foundation in Earth, but again, you are right in terms that people who have higher flow, they are impacted by the air element more. That's what I understand, rather than the earth element. So if they need grounding, then there are practices that we tell to or some things to incorporate in the house, so that that stability is there, that grounding is there.
So if there is more of the air element, does that actually affect the personality of the person? Because air is by nature always flowing, it is not
Yes.
stationary. So is it also that the mind of the person is always fluctuating more? While if somebody is closer to earth, they would be more grounded and they would be more precise in what they want and what they don't want. Is this also related
I
somehow?
would say so. I would say so. So if someone already has a fickle mind, and if their mind is going all over the places, and if their air element is not balanced, and it's too much high, then they won't rest, the mind won't rest, and they'll be always in movement. So that's where the grounding comes into picture. That's what I understand, so far after studying Vastu.
Yeah,
I
that
would
is
say I'm still.
sorry. Yeah, I was just saying that because I live in a high rise building, and I think this is an eye opener for me because I also am someone who is rather fickle minded or whose mind is a bit um it's not a plateau. Let's just say it's more of a sine wave. Yeah, so I want to know more. How can I be more grounded in this whole thing?
Oh, there are so many details, Murali. Let's discuss that offline. I cannot just, it's not a passing comment, to be honest. And to do this science more justice, I truly need to see those layouts where you are, and at what floor and those things. So even if I say something now, that may not be entirely true, and it may not work out in your benefit, and it may go, exactly the opposite way, which we don't want. That's why.
What I'm realizing is it's actually we just assume that it's okay, these directions, east, west, south, and all of that. The house should be this way, entrance should be this way. But now after talking to you, I'm realizing it's actually a very detailed science. It's like astrology, because that also it requires you to study so much in depth. And Vastu is not so black and white as we assume. So thank you for explaining that so well. Okay, I want to go a little bit more in the direction of how Vastu affects the mindset. So before that, let me ask you, how have you seen specific emotional patterns or emotional struggles that people of this age group between 30 to 45, this middle age group that is there? You have the mid-age crisis at that point in time. Is there specific struggles that people are going through? And does Vastu actually fix anything in this case?
Yeah, the people. So most common problem that I come across is, because lives are so busy, So I think overwhelm is one of them. Okay, trying to balance everything is one of them. So people are earning a lot, right? Most of us are working now. We are earning a lot, but savings is a problem. So that is something that is tied to your vastu. So
Oh,
people come with problem like, money is coming in, but it never stays. So even before I have it in hand, it's draining away. So what could be the reason? So if I talk about Vastu and this problem, the common problems, that is one of them. Then sleepless nights, like, constant thinking, clarity of thoughts, that's not there. The calm and peace, some people have problem with it. But I think clarity of thoughts, money problem, these are most obvious, and stress for sure.
yeah, for sure. I think we live very stressful lives nowadays. And I think a part of it also has to do with how away we have moved from nature. We are constantly surrounded by technology, and that point of just slowing down, just taking that rest, or even just going and taking a walk without music or without some stimulation is so rare. I see everybody with headphones on, they're listening to podcasts or they are listening to music or they're doing something or the other, or they're talking on the phone while even walking. It's very rare that I see someone who's just not doing anything, enjoying that boredom, and then just going for a walk and just enjoying the birds chirping, or just being in that moment, in that present moment. That's become so rare, and we've become so disconnected with nature or with these five elements also. So I think more grounding definitely is needed in that case
Yeah.
to manage the stress levels along with Vastu for sure. So, what I also want to ask you is, like, do people come to you asking you to fix all these problems of overthinking, stress, and you are able to do it? Or is it more that sometimes they just actually just need permission? They're craving that permission to change something in their life, which they're hoping it'll come through you.
Vastu. See, people do come with problems like, oh, I have this stress, I have this and that, fix it for me. But the thing is that it's not a magic science. It's a science that works slowly, but it will work surely. Okay. And how much it will work for you, it depends on lot many factors, not just my vastu alignment, to be honest. Right? I'll do my 100%, but then there's your karmic cycle as well coming into picture. Right? So that is something, your actions that you have to keep doing. That is not something I can save you from. And I think no one should be saved from working, right? That's the whole point of living a life. But yeah, people do come for, more grounding and more stability. So these kind of problems, guilt, I would say a lot of women come for guilt. So these
Can you
things,
actually fix guilt with Vastu? Is that actually possible? Or you can maybe minimize it a little bit?
I would say I can regulate that emotion to a certain level. It's not just guilt, it's an emotional pattern. Sorry, you know. Uh, and the beauty about emotions is that you have to understand them, right? Pause them, understand them, and then regulate it. It's not something that I can stop guilt, but I can make them more aware about how to handle guilt. So this is where the mindset part comes more into play than Vastu. Vastu works with emotions in general, right? But to go into specific kind of emotions, I think that needs a more curated form of tools and practices. And that's where mindset coaching comes into picture.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see more and more people are drawn nowadays to the easy fixes. So they maybe want to go into, just in the tarot thing or the astrology thing, or into like, give me an easy fix. I don't want to work on myself. Let me just find an easy way to solve this problem, make it go away. If I can do something on the physical level. But actual growth, like the permanent growth that stays with you, requires you to put in that effort, requires you to show up for yourself, to hold yourself, to hold your self while you are grieving, or while you are crying, or while you're going through all of that emotional turmoil. And then to come outside of that tunnel, finally you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you are then feeling a little okay. But there is no shortcut to working on yourself, is what I feel. The work will work itself, but you have to do the work. So yeah, that I completely agree with you. And I think I love that, because with the Vastu thing, you can bring them till a certain level that normalizes a little bit, and then to level up you need to start working on yourself. It's very beautifully put. I also want to ask you, is there like some harmful belief that people have about stability at this age, in this age group, especially with these millennials? What harmful belief are they carrying about stable lives? Because as far as I can see, everywhere I look, it's not very stable. Everyone seems to be struggling.
I think the thing about stability is we think that things are stable because I'm able to hold it all together. I don't want to, let pieces fall. I want the life to stay just as it is because it is stable, because I'm carrying so much. If I try to do something, something may fall off my plate. So that is the concept about stability. That is what I'm understanding from the people who are approaching me. But I think that's a big myth. If you are not trying new things, if you are not exploring, if you are not, finding the purpose and joy in what you do, I think there's a big part of your life missing. So
Yeah.
that's not stability. I think that's your inner cry to change. Like, this is not how stability looks.
And I think most people are so burnt out, they don't even realize it until it's crossed towards the end. Like they've reached a very hard part in their life, and they feel, okay, now it's even difficult to turn back. um, and you're right, nowadays the plate is so full with so many things to do, and we are very we're trying to balance it, but things are not falling into place. And then we also put ourselves into that thing, that why is this not happening for me, what am I doing wrong? We go into so much guilt ourselves, that there must be something wrong with me, or this self esteem issues start popping out. Especially with women, this happens. And honestly, what do you think about this?
I think the biggest problem that I've come across women in this age group is seeking validation outside. So I think it's core problem of many of their negative emotions and what they're struggling with today. See, you don't need to be validated. First of all, no one needs to validate anyone for anything, right? Unless I don't know, there's a very hard deal signed up for that. But otherwise, you don't need to seek validation for your day-to-day activities. So for example, if you're cooking a food and like you're asking, is it good, is it good, is it good? That's a kind of validation that you're asking, right? It's okay, I've done my part to the best of my ability, to best of my knowledge, to the best of my energy. This is what I am able to cater to you right now. And I think that's okay. If one of the meal goes off, it's okay. This meal is just an analogy, but life should be like that. It's okay if one of the days are off and if one of the things are not perfect. You just don't have to keep seeking anyone's validation in that, because, see, in truth, no one is perfect. In your own eyes, you are not perfect, right? So definitely you're not seeing other person as perfect. And you are asking that person, ki, Are, give me some validation. That's not how it's gonna work. And you may end up, feeling disappointed at the end of the day. So don't seek validation outside. See, if you have done that for, up to best of your capability, I think that's good enough to start with.
I think also women fall in this trap, of they will over sacrifice themselves just for a little bit of validation, just for a little thank you. that I made so much food, please just say thank you. I don't want more, just say thank you. I got a haircut, or I did so much work on myself physically. Just give me that one compliment. It's just that one compliment that we fail to give ourselves. It is we fail to acknowledge ourselves, and then we are just begging other people for it. There is a lot of beggar energy, I think women especially end up in, unfortunately. And I think it also comes from that conditioning that we have gone through from childhood, and you have to behave a certain way, you have to please others, you have to do it this way only, you cannot step beyond this boundary. And somewhere I think women lose themselves in the midst of all of this, don't you think so?
Yeah, I think I do believe that conditioning plays a very crucial role in how women behave, you know. In fact, anyone who's, you know, conditioned in a certain way, they tend to behave like that in their adulthood, right? Similar fashion. So there's a pattern always to that. And for women, I think a majority of times what happens, the society that we live in, they have conditions around everything. How you talk, you know, how you present yourself, what's your company, what's your skill set. So there's whole lot of do's and don'ts for women, you know, when they are a lot younger. And you know, women are so good with memory, they just keep everything inside, bottled up, and they're like, oh, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. And they try to follow the good always, right? And as soon as they think that, oh, I'm, you know, just 90% right and the 10% is off, they're so harsh on themselves that, oh my God, this is just 90% right. And then the guilt starts flowing in. So yeah, I agree with you. Conditioning, a lot of it matters, right? But the trick is to understand your guilt, right? The source of guilt, and to unlearn what's not serving you right now. It may have served the older generation, that's true, good for them. But if it's not serving you right now, better just let go of it. Half of your emotions, you know, that are draining you,
Yeah,
just let them go.
that is so accurately put. And it's so relatable. I mean, we all go through it, whether some of us are married or not married, or we have kids or we don't have kids. But on one level or the other, we are all experiencing it. This good girl syndrome, having to fit into a mold that has been given to us from childhood. And I think millennials have it the worst, because we were told by the previous generation a certain thing, and then the new generation is completely different, and we are somewhere in this stuck middle ground. So I completely understand where you're coming from. Thank you for sharing that. I want to come back to Vastu a little bit. So honestly, what do you think creates more peace in your experience? Is it more about rearranging the house, or is it more about let's regulate the nervous system and the emotional side of things?
I think as of if you ask me now, both. You cannot let so if you are so it's like asking like which hand do you prefer the most? I cannot work with either of them. Like I just can't work with one of them, right? Need both of them to work. So it's like a cycle, right? It's a balance that you so before aligning your house or before aligning your self, the awareness is important. What's coming first, you naturally start with that, but at least start aligning your space, start aligning yourself, and I think you'll be at peace, which you cannot imagine. Trust me, it happened with me. I couldn't have imagined this level of you know calmness in me and around me a year back from now. So it's possible.
Yeah, I think it's like Vastu works with the external world, and the mindset stuff and the emotions work on your internal world. And I think only when both of them are somehow
Yeah,
balanced, the
I
external
call
and internal, then it flows. Yes.
of course I call it like inner vastu and you know the real vastu. It's like vastu shilp shastra, and there's also that inner vastu that you have to do. There's no working around that.
Very nice. I think you can actually call inner and outer Vastu expert. You can change your name to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll think about it. Thank you.
Okay, I want to, so for the people who are watching, I want to ask this question for them. So if someone is feeling stuck or they're feeling very heavy, what is one small change that they can make in their house or maybe their workspace this week to maybe feel a little lighter?
See where you're spending most of your time. If it's your office desk or your home office or wherever it is, that is the couch. See what are those things that are not what you're trying to put off uh, from so long, like maybe months even, and try to get rid of those things, get the energy flow moving. So when you change even the orientation, right, keep aside vastu, but even if you change orientation of your bed, your desk, those small little things, you'll feel difference in that space. You invite fresh energy in. So why not start with letting go of things that no longer are serving you, not giving you that joy you need. Clear of that thing, and I'm sure that things will start moving. And from mindset point of view, I would just say that if you're feeling stuck and if you're confused, just take that one little step. It matters a lot. Because see, waiting for something to happen, just thinking, oh, this would happen, that would happen, just thinking all the possibilities in your mind, it is not leading you anywhere. So unless you take that small action of taking one little step, that will give you more clarity. Whether that step is right or wrong, I think start with that.
Does also just bringing in like putting a new painting or getting a small plant for your desk, do these things, or getting a small idol like Ganpati idol or something, putting on your work table, do these things also help somehow?
Yes. So all these things that you just mentioned, they all hold energy. Okay. For example, plant, they hold life force. It's something living. They grow, right? And they teach you a lot of things. Idol. So there's a whole lot of topic which is called as iconography, how your idol looks, how it makes you feel, how are the eyes, how are the hands, what are they holding. So that emits a lot of energy. Okay. I am personally not, in favor of keeping gods and goddesses on my desk because I prefer maintaining the sanctity of them. So I prefer them at one place in my mandir where I can worship them and give them the respect that they deserve. But this is me. I don't like them, getting covered in dust, even if it's for a fraction of time. So yeah, and paintings, yes, they do. So what kind of painting it is, what kind of mood it is depicting, what colors are being used, is it good for space or not? So everything matters.
Very nice. Okay. But do actually colors play such a big role? Because I have heard that, okay, blue color, like you should use blue color for your bedroom, especially if you are like an angry person or something, or green to calm yourself. It calms the nervous system down. Or like the color red is used by these fast food companies because it makes you very hungry. So is this actually true? And does Vastu also cover all of this color theory?
Yeah. So there's entire thing about how colors, communicate with you, your energy. It's also in the interior decoration and interior designing thing. There's a whole, chapter or subject that's being talked about, and also in terms of Vastu. So now color your bedroom blue or green to calm your nervous system. Is a good way. But what if it's not aligning to the direction? What if that bedroom is falling in the Agni zone, the fire zone of your house? Then that is not going to serve you anyways. So I would say color do help you. There's whole color theory, but I would say marry it with Vastu also. If you're a believer of Vastu, go ahead and do that because that can work wonders. How color affect your nervous system, it's amazing. Like, as you said, like fast food joints, they have reds, they have yellows, they have oranges, greens, all bright, all saturated tones, not the tints or shades of them. So that is how color talks to you. It increases your appetite, it can kill your appetite, it can activate your mind, it can immediately, give your mind that rest that you needed after, a hard day's work.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know it actually has that much difference on a person's mood. But now I'm getting more clarity. And I think green also, because I think they say this, that you go in nature and it is so green, so it'll automatically make you feel better, or just looking at the sky will make you feel better, which is like the blue color coming in, or the water in the beach and all of this. So now I'm realizing why all these things are somehow interconnected, and it's beautifully getting married together with Vastu and the directions. It's amazing. It's amazing. It makes you appreciate the world and nature around you, and that there is so much to learn that we don't realize otherwise. Very good. Okay, I want to end with a quick rapid fire with you. No
Let's do that.
thinking, just go with the flow, and then we
Yep.
will see. Okay, does a messy home actually cause money problems? Yes or no?
Yes.
Bedroom energy or entrance energy? What matters more?
Entrance energy matters more.
Broken things, should we fix them immediately, ignore them, or throw them out?
See, in expensive world, try to fix them first, but if it's not getting fixed properly, I think throw them away.
Broken mirrors or broken glass? Is it a bad omen or is it just a superstition?
I think it's a bad omen. It emits negative energy. You should not keep them.
What about mirrors in the bedroom? Is it a big no or maybe case to case?
It's a big no, as per
Okay.
Vastu. Yes.
And if you're renting a home, should people still care about Vastu?
You should, because Vastu is not about, Vastu doesn't understand the paperwork. It doesn't care whose name is there on the paper, owners, right? It cares about who is residing in that Vastu. So if you are residing in that Vastu, and even if you are a tenant, I think it matters. It
Very
matters
nice.
a lot.
Okay. I love this point that it doesn't care about whose name is on the papers.
It's true.
Beautifully put. What is one Vastu myth that you're tired of hearing now?
Oh, my home is in east. It's all set. It's facing east. It's all set. No, it's not. Probably I have all wrong alignments of the room that you need to address. And oh my God, my house is south facing. I'm afraid what will happen to me. No, you should not be that afraid. It's okay. So we have designated areas, designated sections where you can have your doors in each of the four, in each of the cardinal directions. So it is workable.
Nice. Okay. How about one small Vastu fix which has a great impact?
Start with decluttering. Start with, appreciating your Vastu more.
That you mean
It's
the spaces around us more?
Of course, yes, because Vastu is nothing. So, see, for us, someone like me who's a Vastu practitioner, it's not only about the walls or the buildings or these concrete things. It's about the energy, you know, cubicle that we work in, right? So
Absolutely.
we believe it or not, we are constantly in exchange of energy. So if you are in that energy, you rather express gratitude and appreciate it more rather than cursing it and staying within that curse. That is not going to serve you. So start appreciating, start expressing gratitude towards your home, no matter how small it is, no matter, however you don't like the color of the room or whatever it is. Start expressing gratitude and you'll see the difference.
That's such a beautiful point to end with. Just express more gratitude, be grateful for the place you are in. And it's like Earth has given you that space. We are all existing in a little space, and we should be grateful for it. It's so nicely put. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for being with us,
Thank you so much.
Priyanka. It was absolute pleasure, and I learned so much today. I'm coming from a very different world, and wow, I'm actually looking forward to knowing more about Vastu and actually getting a Vastu consultant, or actually already have one. I'm going to take a consultation with you. Thank you so much. I loved your perspective. I loved understanding that Vastu is a awareness. It's not about getting scared or being anxious about it. It's just a tool that makes you more aware and actually helps you in many different ways to, you know, solve the external problems around you. Thank you, Priyanka, for
True.
bringing so much clarity and grounding to this conversation. And this is my
Thank you so
biggest
much for having
takeaway.
me, Mrinal.
Yeah, and my biggest takeaway from this conversation today is that I'm going to start loving and respecting my spaces a lot more and being more grateful about it. This is a brilliant point. So, if this episode helped you even a little bit, maybe it helped you look at your space, at your mindset, at yourself, maybe a little differently, then it's done its job. And we are happy to do this for you. So let us know your biggest takeaway about Vastu from today's session. And I will see you next time on Unfiltered Healing with another honest conversation. Bye.